Okay, so it seems like there is even more with the Tomoe Umari situation, which if you guys haven't seen, essentially this has been a pretty big one, which you guys can go back and watch the previous video if you want a little bit more detail. But essentially Tomoe has been being targeted by another VTuber, essentially for being apolitical and not talking about politics whatsoever, really. And, you know, obviously she is very patriotic about her country and is very, very open about that on a lot of her social media. So, you know, some people for some reason think that this is some, you know, weird pass where, you know, people think that she's some kind of fence sitter for not talking about politics, but for being very patriotic, which I think is just stupid, right? And one thing that a lot of people kind of pointed out was the fact that Tomoe is actually an active kind of, you know, military service member, right? So, of course, she has to stay kind of politically neutral. This is something that has been confirmed multiple times, not just by Tomoe, but also by, you know, other people as well. In my comment section, for example, I had some people that were in the military that were telling me that, hey, you know, this is true, that, you know, you can't be like politically, you know, present or whatever, especially on social media or anywhere, right? While you are in the army, which obviously does make sense, right? I think that's fair enough. And yeah, obviously there is the case of one, I think Tomoe doesn't want to really talk about politics on her kind of platform, whatever, because at the end of the day, she's a silly anime girl. Like, let's be real. Like, she doesn't need to be speaking about politics if she doesn't want to. And also, she's physically unable to, because of course, you know, she's not allowed to because of being in the army and stuff, which of course, yeah, that does change things quite a bit. And well, it seems like there's been some more responses from Tomoe, as well as some people being attacked for literally just kind of being associated with Tomoe, which I think is absolutely horrible. And of course, this was one of the posts that's kind of blown up recently, saying, as a content creator, it's easy to get swept up in the negativity. If your character is attacked, it's natural to be angry. But if you know in your heart that their words are untrue, there's no reason to be angry. I don't condone responding with anger. Conduct yourselves with dignity, integrity, and kindness. There's more important things in life than this petty internet drama. At the end of the day, I'm here to entertain people and make them happy. Let people assume what they will about me. It doesn't speak for who I am as a person, nor will it change anything at the end of the day. I appreciate everyone defending me, but please do not stoop to their level and spew senseless vitriol and hate. It's not worth it, nor is it healthy. Focus on lifting your Oshis up rather than tearing others down. It's a more productive use of your energy and better for everyone all around. Life is too short to fixate on negativity. If anything like this comes up in the future, as I'm sure it will in my time as a content creator, I hope you'll remember my words now. Please take care of yourselves. So yeah, obviously saying, essentially, do not go around and hate other VTubers and whatever. Just stick to supporting Tomoe and yeah, don't stoop down to the level of a lot of the people that have been attacking her recently, which obviously has been pretty horrible to see because, again, she's being attacked for essentially being politically neutral, which I think is absolutely stupid because obviously anybody is allowed to be politically neutral on their own platforms. And a lot of people have been responding, including Tenma from Face Connect, saying, Tomoe, for the love of God, stop getting one guide. And obviously they're saying, I'm tired of getting poked about the situation. So I just wanted to tell people to stop engaging with it in the future or whatever. So that stuff like this comes up in the future, that it ain't worth the energy and it's just empowering stupid bullshit. They say, you're a sweetheart, but this comes from someone who gets one guide on stream daily. At this point, your responses make people want to do it more and get a reaction out of you, man. If they are seething at something you did, that's on them for having tism. Say, that's a good point as well. I'll be more mindful about that in the future. I appreciate it. So yeah, obviously Tenma was some great advice there, essentially saying, you know, don't get one guide. You know, there's going to be a lot of people on Twitter that is going to disagree with you or continue to go after you over this kind of stuff, because again, this was a pretty big situation, right? And it's something that Twitter does. It's something that happens on Twitter all of the time. Is these people will continue to attack you even months after all of this drama has kind of like subsided and whatever. And yeah, it does become pretty disappointing. A lot of people have been commenting as well. Ririgeki saying we love our cool horse. A lot more people with more Face Connect members saying, I think you're a person with a heart of gold to be so thoughtful about your views and yourself. As you grow, there will always be people who will try to tear you down. So thank you so much, Sheena. I said, I've learned a lot from this situation and will definitely be more careful in the future, which yeah, hopefully this does, you know, provide a little bit of a learning point for Tomoe in terms of handling dramas and things, which again, I don't think she handled too terribly. And I think the drama was just so stupid that, you know, it was kind of an easy win anyways, right? And a lot of people have been commenting as well saying, this is why Tenma is goated. You know, her bluntness is a gift, which, yeah, Tomoe is saying, I'm a big dummy and have a bad tendency to confront things with sincerity, even when it's not necessarily warranted. I think her being blunt with me was a kindness. I'm also used to it in my line of work. Said either way, I'm glad I said what I did. I just got to be careful from now on. And yeah, obviously they respond by saying a lot of people have respect for you for that, but at the same time, there will always be a select few that see this as a weakness, which, yeah, will obviously continue to kind of poke and prod at them. But hopefully, yeah, you can kind of combat that with just ignoring it, because again, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just stupid Twitter drama. But it seems like some people have also been going after people like her editors, including Kenny here, who obviously, yeah, has worked for her before, saying, playing the centrist game again, Kenny. Why do you want to defend this horse so much? What do you gain in defending her so much to this degree? And obviously, what they're saying here is in response to this, where essentially Kenny says, decided to check the opinion of r/VTuber Drama, which is a subreddit that sometimes we cover, and we did actually take a look at this thread, and I didn't cover it for very long due to the fact of how stupid it was, because there was actually 2 threads made about Tomoe, one that was better, one that wasn't good at all and had 0 upvotes, which was quite funny. But they said, yeah, decided to check the opinion on a hit piece video on Tomoe Umari, and the replies were insane. They called her a grifter and nationalist meat rider for echoing conservative talking points. Like, what? Also, they hate her inherently for being active duty, lol. So yeah, obviously these are the comments saying, Tomoe seems like a grifter and a loser. Seen some of her clips about Canada. I suggest anyone trying to defend her stop the mental gymnastics and realize, you know, bad people come in all shapes and sizes. Like, what? Then, being objective, she is a fence-sitting nationalist meat rider that only echoes conservative slop talking points and never dares to give criticisms to the government she loves. To her, not loving your country 100% of the time means you don't truly love where you're from. Hers, not mine. It said also jokes about invading Canada as a presidential candidate. Not exactly the actions and words as of an apolitical VTuber would make. I mean, it's just a joke, bro. Let's be real. You know, we say it all the time. There's a big joke in like the UK, right? Of people saying like we should probably just invade France. Like it's a thing that happens. Like, do we actually want to invade France? No, we're pretty chill in terms of politics, but it's a joke, right? It's a joke that people just like to kind of do. Now, obviously, there's a little bit more of a, I guess, threat or whatever of that happening with, you know, everything going on. But, you know, still, it's a joke. People say active service in the military. Yeah, keep sending her hate. So they're literally sending her hate over the fact that she is active service, which I think is crazy. And then say, I'm a recruitment tool for a branch of the regime, killing people. This is a totally neutral action. Like, what? You know, from just being in the military? Okay. I'm saying they're right, though. Tomoe sucks as actual garbage individuals. So, yeah, of course, yeah, it's just stupid, right? A lot of these people going after her for no reason, just for her being active service or whatever, saying that, you know, she should keep getting hate over that. It's just so stupid, right? And obviously, there's been more stuff as well saying, imagine being proud of having been the editor for these grifters. I would delete it. I would delete myself if I ever consider putting something like this in my bio. Obviously, saying that he has had past kind of, I guess, you know, interactions, including, you know, past clients being Rima, Pipkin Pippa, and also Umari Tomoe, who obviously, yeah, I feel like those are some pretty good, you know, people to have in terms of, you know, clients and whatever to say that you've worked with, because a lot of VTubers know them and a lot of VTubers respect them, right? And obviously, then they follow up with, I'd be more embarrassed if I was a rampant sex pest, which I think is quite funny, which, yeah, to be honest, I think they then go into like their own personal stuff as well, which I do think obviously is pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially what they had in response. So again, a pretty good response in general to that as well, right? And I do think, yeah, they have actually kind of handled that pretty well in general. But again, that is essentially a lot of the hate that has been coming to Tomoe Umari's kind of way at the moment, because again, this is an issue that has been kind of I guess hitting a lot of people, and it has been hitting a lot of you know, Tomoe's community, and also many others that have decided to kind of interact with her. And it is crazy that these people will go on to you know, the point of essentially you know, just saying that they hate her because she's in the military, right? And I think it is crazy that that's even a point that some people are bringing up, because obviously they can't bring up any other point to actually dislike her, right? That is the reason why they're saying they dislike her. They're saying they dislike her because she's in the military. It's not because they dislike her as a person, right? And they can't think of anything to dislike. So yeah, they obviously resort to that. But yeah, that is essentially all there is for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.